And I'm going to hand the emceeing to Ma'am Jenky for Manis Ruste, our official MC for tonight's event. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, everyone. To our research coordinator, Mr. Um, Kenji Hokyo, to our PAC, we're not still here, Miss Nancy Padayaw, to our OIC, Miss Lydia Titerado, to our principal, Mr. Dean Joseph Berenya, and to our guest speaker for today, to our dear teachers. Good evening, everyone, and welcome and thank you for joining us for today's webinar. And before we get started, and I'd like to ask, let's bow down our heads and feel the presence of our Almighty God for a short prayer, to be followed by the singing of the national anthem and Arellano hymn.
Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because He's given Jesus Christ, His Son. Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because He's given Jesus Christ, His Son. And now let the weak say, I am strong. Let the poor say, I am rich because of what the Lord has done for us. And now let the weak say, I am strong. Let the poor say, I am rich because of what the Lord has done for us. Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because He's given Jesus Christ, His Son. Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because He's given Jesus Christ, His Son. And now let the weak say, I am strong. Let the poor say, I am rich because of what the Lord has done for us. And now Thanks.
To be followed by the singing of the national anthem and Arellano hymn.
Arellano, pamantasan namin, mahal naming alma mater, alay sa'yo mga puso namin, lagi ka naming pagmamahalin. Ikaw ang aming tanging bukal ng malayang karunungan, o pamantasan naming mahal, Arellano University. Arellano, aming pamantasan, lingkod na tapat ng bayan, ang dunong na sa amin ay bigay, sa buhay ay gagamiting tanglaw. Sa Diyos ang samo namit hiling, ngalan mo ay laging magningning, o pamantasan naming mahal, Arellano University.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Are we all ready? Hello. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Good
sir.
evening. Ayan. So to start, I just have a couple of questions na gusto ko po nasagutin ng bawat isa po sa atin, no? If you are aware with the trivias that I'm going to give you, all you have to do is to agree by saying, yes, naniniwala ako. Okay ba yon? Hello? Again, nasasabihin po natin kapag nag-agree kayo doon sa trivia, nasasabihin ko, yes, naniniwala ako. Okay. According to the leading statistics, ito po yung first question ha. According to the leading statistics, 85% of Filipino people are suffering from poverty. Again, according to the leading statistics, 85% of Filipino people are suffering from poverty. How many among you believe doon sa statement? Yes, I believe, according to Sir Robin. Ma'am Charity, yes, naniniwala ako. Comment down. Yun, meron po tayo nakuha 2 response. Ayan, yes, I believe. Sir Jerwin, Ma'am Mia, yes, naniniwala ako. Okay, Ma'am Jenky, yes, naniniwala. Okay, next question po. According to the leading statistic, 90% of the Filipino people are not used to using the English language. Again, according to the leading statistics, 80% of Filipino people are not used to using the English language. Do you believe or you disagree with the trivia? According to the leading statistics, 80% of Filipino people are not used to using the English language. Ma'am Charity, naniniwala din? Okay. Sir Robin, super agree? Yes? Thank you for your response. Okay, third question. According to the leading statistics, 90% of the Filipino people believe that Bongbong Marcos will win the 2022 election. Again, according to the leading statistics, 90% of the Filipino people believe that Bongbong Marcos will win the presidential election in 2022. Naniniwala o hindi? I disagree, according to Ma'am Mia. Thank you for your response, ma'am. Meron pa po? Okay, thank you everyone for your response. Just to give you a clarification, all of the things I said earlier are just made up. So wala pang totoo doon sa sinabi ko. But the thing is, when we talk about numbers, most especially when we mention research or studies, most of us are confused. And some might believe what other people said, lalo na kapag sinimulan nga ito doon sa salitang according to the leading statistics, according to study, according to research, according to reading the researches, no? Madami po sa atin are being victimized by these thoughts that when we use these terms, most commonly, the statement thrown by the person himself or herself is legitimate. Now, to avoid this kind of cancer na nangyayari po sa atin, not only Filipino people but all of the teachers, lalo po tayo, very responsible tayo sa mga sinasabi nating comments, sa mga sinasabi po nating facts or opinions, no? Very responsible po tayo dito. To avoid those kinds of issue, tuturuan po tayo ng isang guest speaker who are going to teach us how to treat data in a proper manner. Dahil isa po ito sa pinakamahalaga na part ng research, no? Isa po ito sa pinakamahalagang part ng research. Some of the parts of research as important of the other parts, of course. But the thing is, kung bakit po natin ito tatalakayin, marami po sa atin are afraid to conduct a research not because we do not want to see the truth, no? Most of us are afraid to conduct research simply because we struggle with some of the parts of it. Majority, natatakot po tayong mag-conduct ng research simply because hindi po natin alam kung paano natin i-treat yung data ng tama. So, wag na natin patagalin. I'm going to give the floor to our guest speaker for tonight's event. We have here si Ma'am Ruth DeVera. She's an English teacher in Arellano University for 2.5 years. Ayan, so tuturuan po tayo ni Ma'am. Ma'am, the floor is yours. You may start. Thank you, everyone.
Correction lang po, hindi po ko English teacher. I'm a math teacher po.
Math teacher, sorry po.
So, hello po. Good evening po, teachers. So, narinig po ba ako?
ma'am.
Yes po.
Loud and clear.
Loud and
Yes
clear.
po, ma'am.
So, today I'm going to discuss about the statistical tools. So, ano ba yung mga dapat nating gamitin na statistical tool when we are conducting a research? So, yung bibigay ko lang po sa inyo is yung pinaka-basic. And then later, papakita ko sa inyo kung ano ba yung pwedeng application na gamitin natin to solve or to treat, hindi naman to treat, but to solve yung ating data. So, eto po. So, yung topic ko is about the descriptive statistics. So, in descriptive statistics po, we have 4 topics under this one. So, first is the measurement of central tendency. So, ito yung pinaka-common na ginagamit po natin when it comes to statistical tool. Then later mas malalaman nyo kung ano yung meron kay statistics, kay central tendency. Then next we have the measurement of the variability. So measurement of variability, ito po yung we will know kung gaano ka-scattered yung score na makukuha natin doon sa ating data. Di ko na masyadong i-explain to kasi sabi naman daw we're going to focus on how we're going to treat the data under the Likert scale. Then, after the central tendency, variability, we have the measurement of the other location. So, dun po sa other location, ito yung tinatawag natin ng percentile, decile, and quartile. So, ito, ginagamit natin to know kung naging okay ba yung score ng mga bata natin, kung pumasa ba siya or na-meet niya ba yung expectation na sinet natin through that data. Then we have the measurement of the shape. Sa measurement of the shape, ito yung tinatawag natin na kurtosis. So meron po ba nakakalam dito kung ano yung kurtosis? Aside kay sa mga math majors or science major, alam ko meron mga stats po yun. So, meron po ba? Okay, sa tingin ko, yung pinakaalam lang natin is yung topic natin ngayon, which is the central tendency. So, yung ano ba yung objective ko for today? First is to define the measurement of the central tendency. Then, differentiate the measurement of the central tendency. Under the central tendency, we have 3 particular na ginagamit dito. Then, we have the last objective, which is determine the formula of the measurement of the central tendency. So, ano ba yung tatlo na sinasabi kong central tendency? So, ito yun. Ito muna, bago ko sabihin sa inyo yung tatlo na yun, ano ba yung central tendency? Sabi rito, is a single value that summarize a set of data. So, naka-highlight si single value. So, ano bang ibig sabihin nitong single value na to? Yung single value na to, meaning it is the numerical value. So, kapag nagtitreat tayo ng data sa central tendency, we always have a numerical value. Doon sa numerical value na binibigay sa atin, sinasummarize natin siya. Or, ini-interpret natin or sabihin na natin paano natin siya i-analyze. So, ganun yung nangyayari kay central tendency. And then, a little trivia about sa central tendency. So, meron tayo ditong, sorry, hindi siya straight line. This is a straight line and then meron po tayong normal curve. For example, this one is a normal curve. Pag sinabi kasi nating central tendency, yung ating tatlong ginagamit dito is always nag-scattered lang siya sa ating dito sa gitna. So, dito lang siya. Lagi. Kaya siya natawag na central tendency. So, ano yung tatlo na central tendency na yon? So, this is the measurement of central tendency. First, we have the mean. So, I know dun sa ating assessment, we have the mean. So, ano ba yung ibig sabihin sa inyo ng mean? Or ano yung pagkakaintindi nyo kay mean? Anyone po?
This is the
Teachers?
average.
This is the average. Okay, ano pa po meron kay mean, maliban kay average? Technically, mean is the average of the datas. Next, we have the median. So, kapag sinabi natin median, ano ba meron kay median?
Is it the middle?
From the word middle, median, or the middlemost of the data. Okay. Next, we have the mode. So, kapag sinabi natin mode, ano po yung karaniwang meron dito?
Is how many times the data occurs or naulit.
So, ilang beses na ulit?
The most frequent.
Ito yung the most frequent. Okay. So, ito yung karaniwan na ginagamit natin kay measurement of the central tendency. So, una muna tayo kay mean. So, mean, sabi nga dito kanina, it is the arithmetic average of the value. So, kapag sinabi nating average, ano yung karaniwan na ginagawa natin dito? Or how can we solve the average? Ginagawa natin or kinukompute natin yung mean. Example dito is dun sa grades ng mga bata natin. For example, sa first semester, kinukuha lagi natin yung mean. So, ano yung ginagawa natin to solve the mean?
We add all the grades and then divide it by the how many subjects they are.
So, we add all the grades and then divide it by how many
subjects
we have. Okay. So, that is the particular, ayun yung sinasabi natin mean. So, this is the formula for us to know what is the mean of the data. So, we have the x, may bar siya dun sa taas na ganito, or malaking M and maliit na n. Is equal into summation of x. So, ibig sabihin pag summation, ibig sabihin i-add mo lahat ng number na given. Over n or n. So, ano bang ibig sabihin ng malaking n tsaka maliit na n? So, may pinagkaiba kasi silang dalawa. So, yung malaking n, meaning that is the population or the totality of the data. So, kapag sinabi natin population or the totality, it is yung kabuoan ng data natin. Example po dito is total number of the Filipino people. So, yun yung isa sa mga pwede nating sabihin na totality data na meron tayo. Then, dito naman sa n na maliit, this is the sample or the parts of the data. So, kapag sinabi nating sample or the parts of the data, di ba meron na tayo, may binigay na ako sa inyo kaninang totality. So, ito yung totality natin is the total number of the Filipino people or people. Then, dun naman tayo sa maliit na n, which is dun sa sample. Yung sample natin is, for example, dito kukuha tayo ng part dito sa total natin. For example, bibilangin mo yung ilan yung Bicolano dito sa Pilipinas. That is the sample. Normally, sa research po, ang ginagamit lagi natin is yung sample data. Bakit po? Kasi having or collecting data is not that possible. So, hindi natin makukuha lahat ng data natin ng ganun lang. Unless kung meron ka talagang access dun sa pinaka-data na given. Nagigets po ba? Or medyo mabilis po ba? Or hindi po? Teachers?
Gets po.
Okay, kung nagigets po, kindly raise your hand. Sige, tanongin ko ulit. Kapag sinabi natin population data, ano pong meron doon? Kenji, paki-explain ano pong meron kay population data? Medyo na ano. Sige, pag sinabi ng population, ito yung total ha. Pinakabuoan ng data natin. Kapag sinabi naman natin na sample data, this is the part lang. Part ng data nung total data natin. So, parang kukuha lang tayo dun. So, meron ako ditong example ng pagko-compute ng data. So, for example, this one. So, yan. So, we have the mean of, ito yung data ko, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So, ito yung data na bibigay ko sa inyo. So, for us to find the mean here, we need to add them all. So, add lahat ng data divided by the number given. So, ilan ba yung number na given natin? Which is 5 datas. So, yun lang. So, we have 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 is equal into what number? Okay, 1 plus 2. Okay, sabi ni Sir Robin, it is 15. So, 15, divide mo siya kay 5. Ay, wait lang. So, divide by 5. Is equal into 3. Remember guys, or teachers, that kapag research ang pinag-uusapan natin, always naka 2 decimal places siya. So kung 3 lang po yung sagot natin, we put 0, 0 sa dulo. So 0.00. So based on this mean, which is 3, do you know how to interpret this number? Remember, teachers, when we're going to use or to interpret the data, kailangan marunong din tayo yun sa pag-interpret talaga niya. Or kaya natin siyang i-interpret by looking at the numbers. And statistics is not all about the collection of data, but also it is about on how you will going to interpret the data that you collected. So, paano kaya natin may interpret itong 3 na to? Okay, sino po ba rito yung marunong mag-interpret ng data? Sino po yung hindi ganun kagaling mag-interpret ng data?
Me.
Leo, okay. Wala na po, maliban sa ano? Sino po dito yung hindi alam yung ginagawa? You can raise your hand
Ako
po.
ulit.
Okay, so 2 tao daw po. Okay, sige. Thank you po sa participation. So, ganito po kasi yun. When we're going to interpret a data, kailangan alam natin kung bakit natin siya ini-interpret or para saan ba yung pag-interpret natin sa kanila. For example, bigyan natin ng meaning itong numbers na to. Itong numbers na to is, yan yung score ng bata sa quiz ninyo. So, every quiz, we have 10 items. So, kung 5 yung items na nakuha, 5 quiz yung nakuha niya, 5 yung binigay mong quiz, tapos 10 items siya. So, ilan lahat yun?
50.
So, a total of 50. So, based on the number here, eto, makikita po ba natin na pumasa or bumaksak yung bata? So, ayan, di ba meron tayong 50%. Divide mo siya kay 5 para alam natin kung paano yung ano niya. So, magiging, ang sagot nito is 10. So, 10 din yan. So, makikita pa lang natin dito sa mean natin kung bumaksak ba or pumasa yung student natin. So, based on the mean, sobrang baba niya, di po ba? Pumalahati pa siya dun sa ating score. Dun sa score ng ating number or dito. Kumalahati po ba yung bata? Kasi makikita natin dito, ito na yung pinaka-average niya eh. So, ano ba yung kalahati ng 50%? 25. So, sa tingin nyo, pumasa po ba yung bata kung 3 yung yung mean na meron tayo? Bagsak. So, meaning, yung dapat nasusunod na mga score ng bata doon sa kanyang exam, dapat mas mataas pa. para mahatak niya yung kanyang grades. So, naiintindihan po ba yun? Dito pa lang kasi makikita na natin kung bumaksak or pumasa yung bata by looking at the mean. Okay. So, question po about dito sa ating mean. Meron po ba kayong question? To clarify things here. Okay, speechless po sila. Okay, sige. So, sige, proceed na ako kay Mijan. Doon tayo kay Mijan. Kay Mijan po, ito po yan. Sabi natin, kapag Mijan, it is the middlemost in an ordered array of data. So, it is the middlemost. Ibig sabihin, ito yung gitna ng ating data na naka-arrange. Dapat naka-arrange po yung ating data para makuha natin si median. So, it divides the data set into two equal parts. So, I'm going to give you a data. So, ito yung data. We have 5, 11, 15, 16, and 26. So, based on the data given, sabi nga natin, yung median, it is the middlemost value. So, ano kaya yung middlemost dito? It is 15. Okay, so the median is 15. Next, so we have 2, 5, 11, 15, 16, and 26. So ano kaya yung middle natin dito sa data natin? Since this is naka-arrange na po siya, ano po yung middle natin? So kapag ganito na even number yung okay, 13 daw, sabi ni Sir Kenji. 12.5. Okay, sige, check natin kung tama ba siya. Kapag ganitong even yung median natin, tingin ka lang po dun sa pinakagitna. Yung gitna natin is 11 and 15. Tama po ba? So, ito po yun. So, ito yung ating gitna. So, 11 and 15. So, ang gagawin mo lang dyan is, i-add mo lang silang dalawa, and then, i-divide mo by 2. So, yan yung magiging median natin. So, we'll get 13 as the median. Ano na naman kinukuha si median? Next. Si mode naman tayo. Kay mode, maraming tawag dito kay mode. Sabi dito, si mode daw is the value that appears the most number of times in a data set. And the mode of ungrouped data can be seen by inspection. So, kapag ungrouped data yung given sa atin, ibig sabihin, makikita na lang natin by just looking at the data itself. So, meron ako ditong data. Kindly check kung ano, sabi nga, di ba, most number. So, ano ba yung number na parang nauulit? So, ito yung data natin. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, based on the data given, may nakikita po ba kayo nauulit or wala? Wala. None. So, meaning kapag wala ka po nakikita ng data, ang magiging mode natin dyan is none or no modal value. So, again, kapag wala ka nakikitang nauulit na data, just write none or no modal value. Next, dito naman po tayo sa data na to. So, we have 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, dito sa given na to, ano po ba yung mode natin? So, sabi ni Sir Robin, 2, 2, okay. So, based on the data, yung mode natin is 2. So, kapag may nakita kang isa na naulit, ang tawag po dyan is unimodal value. From the word uni or isa. Then next, dito naman po sa data na to, so we have 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, and 6. So, ano po yung mga mode na meron tayo? We have 2 and 4, sabi ni Ma'am Jennifer. So, kapag dalawa naman po yung mode na given, ang tawag po natin dyan is bimodal value. Paano naman kapag 3 or more yung yung mode natin. So, kapag 3 or more, pwedeng trimodal or yung sinatawag natin na multimodal na po. So, ito yon. So, we have 2, 2, 3, 3, 6, 6, and 7. So, this is three modes. So, we have 2, 3, and 6. Then, ang tawag po dyan kapag 3 or more is multimodal value na po yan. Paano naman kapag yung data natin is this one? So, we have 2, 2, 3, 3, and 6, 6. So, ano kaya yung mode na tong data na given? Okay. Sabi ron, most number of times. Makikita natin wala namang most number times. Pwede lang siyang magkaroon ng ang mode kasi dito is none. Bakit? Pwede lang pong magkaroon ng mode po etong given data natin kapag may isa pa pong number na given. So for example, lalagyan natin siya ng 6 dito. So what will be your mode? So ano yung pinakamarami mong number dyan? Okay, so ang magiging mode natin dyan kapag nilagyan natin ng 6 is 6 din. So basta tandaan natin kapag mode, ito yung most number of times in a data set. So ano ba yung mga dapat natin tandaan doon sa tatlo? So for the median, this is the most reliable na ginagamit natin sa research. So ito yung lagi natin ginagamit kapag nagre-research po tayo. So, halos lahat ng researchers, ito yung ginagamit. Kung meron tayong most reliable, meron naman tayong least reliable. So, ano yung least reliable sa kanilang tatlo? This is the mode. Kahit nasabihin natin na ito yung least reliable natin, this is the only central tendency na sumasagot sa ganitong tanong. So, sa research natin, tama po ba meron tayong gender?
Yes po.
Meron po, 'di ba? Meron din po parang age, tama po ba?
Yes po.
So ang ginagamit po natin doon is yung mode po natin. So inaalam nyo kung ilang beses ba na ginamit si girl or si boy doon sa ating data para ma-compute or ma-treat natin yung data natin. Then we have the median. This is the typical measurement. So, ayan yung mga tatandaan natin when it comes to mean, median, and the mode. Then, ito na po yung dun sa ating Likert scale. Sa Likert scale, ang ginagamit nating equation doon is the weighted mean. So, ang weighted mean po natin is a special case of arithmetic mean. So, ayan. Paano natin siya kinukumpute? Just multiply each value by an appropriate weight. So, dun sa ating weighted mean, normally meron tong given na scale. So, ito yung formula na ginagamit natin kapag kay weighted mean. So, ito yung example po niya. So, si principal, gumawa siya ng level of proficiency dun sa mga teachers niya. So, she used 5 points Likert scale in determining the level of the proficiency based from 50 random faculty responses with a interpretation below. So, analyze natin yung ating interpreted data. So, ito yung scale niya. So, we have 1 for beginning, 2 advanced, 3 proficient, 4 highly proficient, and 5 distinguished. So, para malaman natin or ma-compute natin siya and matreat natin yung data dito, dapat dito pa lang sa total natin, pare-parehas yung number dito. So, paano natin makukuha si total? I-add mo lang to lahat from number. So, ayan. So, from 1, add mo lang lahat ng sumagot. So, try natin 20 plus 9 plus 17 plus 3 plus 1 is equal to what number? So, it is equal into 50. So, dapat itong total number natin is naka-50 po siya. So, paano natin kukumputin yung weighted mean natin? So, first is, i-multiply muna natin yung ating scale na to. So, itong 5. Tapos, dun sa ilan yung sumagot ng 5. So, for example, we have 5 times 20. So, 5 times 20 is equal to what number? Very good. That is 100. So, 100 yan. Next, 4 times 9. So, we have 36. Then, 3 times 17 is equal to 51. Then, we have 2 times 3. Ito lang yan. 2 times 3, 6. Then, last, we have 1 times 1. So, we have 1. So, ang gagawin mo lang dito para makuha mo si weighted mean is, gamitin mo yung formula natin na to. Gagawin mo lang dyan, i-add mo lang lahat ng kinumpute mo. So, we have 100 plus 36 plus 51 plus 6 and plus 1. So, ganito siya. Tapos, divide mo by the total number. So, ito yung lalabas dyan. So, pag inad natin dun sa ating numerator, yung 10 plus 36 plus 51 plus 6 plus 1 is equal into what number po? 194. So, 194 divided by 15 is equal into what number? 3.88 or approximately as 4. So, ang ating weighted mean dito sa number 1, sa Mastery of Content Knowledge, is 3.88. So, doon naman sa verbal interpretation natin, gagawin natin is i-round off natin yung 3.88. So, yun nga, ni-round off natin yung 3.88 which is 4. So, ang mangyayari dyan is, titingnan mo dito sa ating scale na to kung saan ba or ano yung magiging verbal interpretation natin. So, ano ba yung 4 po dito? So, we have 1, beginning, 2, advanced, 3, proficient, 4, highly proficient, and 5, distinguished. So, saan po siya doon? Nasa highly proficient. Kasi yung number 4. Next naman po tayo. Same lang na equal into 50. Then, ito lang iti-treat natin yung data. So, we have 5 times 15 is equal into, ito na po yung number. So, we have 75 plus 92 plus 30 plus 4 plus 0. So, ito na yung pagkaka-multiply dito. Then, divide mo kay 50%. Then, i-add mo to, 75 plus 62 plus, 92 plus 30 plus 4 plus 0 is equal into what number po? 201. So, 201 divided by 50 is equal into what number? So, 4.02. So, pag ni-round off po natin tong 4.02, ang makukuha natin is 4. So, based on this scale, so saan po siya? Sa highly proficient. So, 4.2, nasa highly proficient. Next, last. Sa last po natin, we have here. So, sa establishing learning environment that are responsive to learners' diversity. So, ito yung computation niyan. Then, ito na yung pagkaka-multiply. So, multiply mo yan lahat. Ito na po yun. Then, add mo sila. So, we have 145 plus 32 plus 21 plus 10 plus 1 is equal into what number po? 209. So, 209 divided by 50 is equal into 4.18. So, 4.18 is equivalent to 4 pag ni-round off po natin siya. So, saan po siya ng scale mapupunta? Sa highly proficient. Doon naman tayo sa last, which is the general weighted average. A general weighted average po, kinukompute po natin dyan is Ano yung sagot dun? 4.8. Tapos highly. So, ang gagawin lang po natin dito is add mo lang tong lahat na to. So, yan. Then, divide mo kung ilan sila. So, ayan na yung weighted average mo. So, try natin. We have 3.88 plus 4.08 plus 4.18. Divide mo kung ilang number. So, ilang number siya? 3. So, what is the answer po? So, dun muna tayo sa numerator. So, 3.88 plus 4.02 plus 4. So, yung sagot daw is 4.02666. So, ito daw yung sagot doon. So, lagay natin, since 2 decimal yung ginahanap natin dito, ang lalagay natin is 4.03. Then, kapag ni-round off natin siya, 4. So, round off natin siya by 4. Ito yon. Then, check ninyo kung saan siya dito nabibilang. So, sa weighted average natin, we have 4.03 or highly proficiency. So, ganun po natin tinitreat yung doon sa weighted mean. So, gusto niyo po bang matutunan kung paano siya kino-compute or nilalagay po dun sa ating Excel? So, we can use the Excel para mas madali. Gusto niyo po ba makita, teachers? So, for the Excel po, medyo ano lang po siya. Ang gagawin niyo lang po, eto po, nakikita niyo po yung data ko. So, ayan, sabi
Yes
dito.
po.
The prelim examination score of the student in geometry group according to shift. So, we have the morning, afternoon, and the evening. So, ang hahanapin natin dito is yung mean, median, and the mode. So, ang i-insert nyo lang po rito kapag hanapin natin dito sa mean. So, ito yung mean natin. Kulayan ko lang ng ibang color para alam ninyo. So, ito yung mean natin. So, dito sa Excel, ang gagawin lang natin is input equal. Then, lagay mo lang yung mean. Then, close parenthesis. Right-click yung dun sa unang number ni morning shift. Then, pwede kang gumamit ng column. Ito. So, ayan po. Nakikita niyo po ba? Or medyo Ayan. Then, yung pinakahuli. So, yung pinakahuli is 15 B15. So, close mo na siya. Pag kinose mo na siya, enter mo lang. Ba't ayaw? Okay. So, hindi pala siya ganito yung gagamitin natin. 15. Tapos, ayaw. Ulit. So, for the mean, open parenthesis, then right-click mo lang hanggang pababa, close mo, tapos enter. Ayaw niya talaga. Okay. So, hindi pala mean. Naalala ko na. Sorry, guys. Sorry, teachers pala. So, it's not mean. It is the average. So, average, enter mo lang, lalabas is 33.75. So, ito po yung lalabas dun sa average natin. So, kahit kinumpute mo po siya or inad mo siya, then divide mo by total number nung inad mo, 33.75 yung lalabas. Then, again, para makompute lang po natin siya, average. Hindi po AVI ha, average po. Kasi baka hindi po lumabas yung natin. Magne-name lang po yung makikita natin sa ating screen. So, then drag mo siya hanggang pababa, close parenthesis, enter. So, ito na yung lalabas. So, we have 34.17. So, pinakamadali dyan, since this is a mean, Control C, Tapos dun sa susunod, Control V. Lalabas na yung mean. So, nakukuha po ba? Kuha po ba, teachers? Ulit natin
Yes
from the
po.
start. Equal, average, then, close parenthesis, click mo na lang yung unang number, which is 34. Then, yan. Tapos yung pinaka-last number, which is B15. Close parenthesis, equal. Ay, enter. Yun na yun. Lumabas na po siya. So, next naman tayo kay median. Kay median naman po, simply put, median. Tapos, close parenthesis. Ganun lang din po. Right click hanggang pababa. Huwag yung bibitawan yung right click. Then, close natin. Enter. So, yan na yung lumabas. 34.5. Then, next. Ganun lang din. We have equal, median, open parenthesis. Then, click mo lang yung first number. I-drag mo hanggang baba. Huwag mo bibitawan yung right click. Then, close mo siya. Enter. Ito na yung median. Same lang yon. Equal, median, open parenthesis. Then, right click hanggang sa baba. Then, close mo, enter. So, lumabas na po siya. Doon naman tayo kay mode. Sabi ko nga kanina kay mode, pwedeng marami yung mode natin. Pwedeng unimodal or bimodal or multimodal. So, para makuha natin lahat ng mode natin, simply put equal, then MOD or mode dot MUL. So, MUL po siya. So, ito yung insert natin. So, mode point MOL para lumabas lahat ng mode natin. Then, column hanggang right click hanggang pababa. Then, close mo, enter. Ayaw nyo. Wait lang po, ha? Meron na kasi akong ginawa ditong Excel. So, ito yung ginamit po namin sa masteral. Okay, so, di po pala siya mole lang. Oh. So, sa mode po natin, ang ginagamit po natin dyan is equal mode that MOLT, close natin, then right click pababa, close, then that is the mode. So, check ninyo kung tama po ba. Meron po ba naulit na number maliban kay 34. So, para i-check natin dyan, nakikita nyo po yung f of x dito. Etong nasa ano ko. Click nyo lang yan. Eto. Dapat andun ka sa may pinaglagyan mo kanina ng computation. Click mo lang yan. So, makikita natin dito yung equal na yan. Dalawa siya. So, meaning ito, yung equal 34 and 43. So, 34 and 43 po yung mode na meron tayo dito sa morning shift. So, lagay lang natin 4300. So, makikita natin ito yung 43. Ito yung 34. Then, yung 43, ayan. So, dalawang beses na ulit siya. Tig-tatlo pala sila. So, ayan. So, dalawa yung ating mode. Next, ganun lang ulit, mode that MOLT. close, ay open, right-click hanggang sa baba, then close natin, enter. So, check mo ulit kung same lang na 35 yung ating mode dito. So, click mo lang ulit yung pinag-enteran mo kanina ng equation, then f of x, tingnan mo kung ilan yung nakalagay. So, 35 lang siya. So, okay mo na yan. So, para mas madali, Control V mo na, Control C, then paste mo na lang dyan. Ito na yon. Then, tingnan mo kung tama lang na isa lang yung mode na meron tayo. So, kung mapapansin natin dito, dalawa siya. We have 33 and 35. O yan po yung ating mode. Actually, meron po mas madali para makompute na po natin yung mean, median, and mode. So, paano po yun? Simply, kung meron kayong data analysis sa Excel, madali na lang siya. Pero kung wala, you can use this one. So, and click the file, then option, then add-ins. So, then click the analysis tool pack. Tapos okay mo lang siya, lalabas na yung data analysis mo. Sa data analysis natin, para makuha natin yung mean, median, and mode, click mo lang tong data analysis, tapos hanapin mo yung descriptive statistics, okay mo yan. Then, ang gagawin mo, enter mo lang yung mga data na meron ka dito. So, from the morning hanggang dito sa evening, dito sa 24, yan yung ranges. Then, ang gagawin mo, input mo lang yung output ka. Saan mo siya pwedeng ilagay? So, dito na lang natin ilalagay. So, click mo yan. Yan. Then, summarization. Statistics, pwedeng lahat yan. Okay mo. Then, label in first row. So, makikita mo na yung sagot dyan. Okay. So, eto po. Madali na lang po siya. Nakikita niyo po ba, teachers? So, ganun po ginagamit yung Excel natin when it comes to the getting mean, median, and mode. Nakukuha po ba yun? Or medyo mabilis? Actually, marami pong function ng ating Excel. So, kung gusto nyo rin pong yung input na lang po talaga kayo ng data, just download the SPSS. Pero medyo costly po siya. So, parang 26,000 po ata yung lifetime niya. So, ganun po natin siya kino-compute. Sir Kenji, meron pa po tayong iaano. May tanong po ba when it comes to here po? So, Sir Kenji, I'm going to give you
Okay,
the floor.
before we entertain questions, I'd like to introduce our next speaker to give us a supplemental information about the particular topic that we're talking about. Without further ado, Jenki, who's our next speaker?
Okay, thank you so much to our presenter. Okay, we will go ahead. Wala bang tanong? Mga take time for questions now. Or we'll go on with the next presenter. Okay. Without further ado, we will turn the time over to our dear presenter, Mr. Jerwin.
Okay, so good evening, teachers. Can you hear me po clearly?
Sena, okay po.
Hello? Wah, gising pa po
Yes,
ba
sir.
kayo?
Yes, sir.
Ayun.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this topic of mine is all about a part of practical research, specifically the results and discussion. No? So by the way, before I'm going to start this presentation, I'm just going to inform that everyone, if I'm going to raise a question, so definitely if you're going to answer it correctly, then I am willing to give a 50 pesos reward worth of GCash. Is that okay? Para medyo mabuhay naman tayo mga
Wow.
teachers.
Can we join, sir?
Hello. Okay, so everyone, you can join naman. So everyone is can cooperate, no? So, Ma'am Jens, pa-present na lang po.
Higher 50 daw. 50!
Ayun. The first slide, please. The first slide. Ma'am Jens, the number 4 slide supposedly it should be on the third slide. But parang may ibang ano natin yan. Sige. Anyways, start tayo, no? Asan na tayo, Ma'am Jens? Excuse me. Medyo naglalag ata yung laptop. Excuse me.
Okay, so while we are still waiting for the technicalities to be arranged properly para makapag-proceed po tayo. Kamustahan? Kamusta po? Marami naman po tayo napupulot, no, sa ating webinar for tonight. So, kanina, going back lang doon sa mga naging questions ko nung simula, marami sa atin, no, very rampant ngayon yung ganong case, no. When we are presented an evidence pagdating sa research, ang dami sa atin, no, na nalulunod tayo doon sa too much information that they are giving us. And ang tendency, kapag ginamitan tayo ng number, hindi tayo makapalag. Akala natin fact siya agad simply because merong integration ng number doon sa statement na sinasabi nila according to the leading studies, according to the leading psychiatrists, according to psychology, according to the leading experts, no? Sa susundan ng ilang porsyento ng number, nalulunod tayo, no? And since karamihan sa atin na hindi tayo ganong kalalim yung pagkakaintindi natin sa research, hindi natin siya pinapractice na saliksikin na maigi. And ang tendency, pinaniniwalaan natin siya agad. No, doon lumalawak yung kaso ng fake news. Doon lumalawak yung misinformation and disinformation. And ayun yung susubukan nating i-avoid, no? No? And aside from that, kasama po sa mga mare-resolve natin dito sa mga darating na panahon kapag ka natutunan natin ang tamang paggamit ng research and of course with the integration of mathematical skills, matututunan din po natin kung paano tayo makakapag-contribute hindi lang sa mga pandemic na nangyari but of course sa iba't iba pang mga dilema na kinakaharap ng bansa which ay mare-resolve natin sa pamamagitan ng isang masusing pag-aaral at isang progressive na step towards doon sa mga pinag-aralan. So without further ado, balik po tayo sa ating program.
Okay, so yan, we're going to discuss the results and discussion. No? So, first question natin is, what is results and discussion? Ano ba yung ginagawa nito? Or what is its significant part in a research paper? No? So, Ma'am Jenks, second slide please. Ma'am Jenks? Hello? Choppy ba ako? Hello? Okay naman po ba?
Baka may na lang po yung signal ni Ma'am Jenky.
Okay na nga. I think nga. Nagahang siya kanina. So, by the way, so these results in discussion, parang siya yung continuous part of a research after yung diniscuss ni Ma'am Ruth kanina, which is the statistical treatment. No? So, what Ma'am Ruth discussed a while ago is para siya yung pinakang-basic, the common, the usual na ginagamit natin statistical treatment or tool in a research. But if we're going to explore more with regards to statistics, ang dami pang different, ang dami pang mga various statistical tool or treatment na pwede natin gamitin. But the only thing that we're going to consider or to take note is that we should use appropriate statistical tool or treatment based on what is the objective of the study. No? For example, we're going to have or we're going to get the relationship or the correlation between the two variables. So therefore, we are um, going to use or appropriately use the persons are, which is the statistical tool or treatment that is directly answering or effective in getting the data with regards to the correlation studies. No? So the results in discussion, so this is the meat of every research paper. Do you agree, teachers?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
The other thing about results and discussion is that it is where readers get to understand further your research. Kasi nga, dyan na natin, yan yung pinakang part na there is already the results coming from the data na nagather natin through the use nung diniscuss ni Ma'am Ruth kanina. As well as there is a particular interpretation. And we're going to discuss that furthermore mamaya doon sa ating mga preceding slides. No? Another one, results in discussion. This is the collection of answers of your statement of the problem. So, ibig sabihin, we come up with results in discussion for answering to the SOPs na ginawa natin. Wherein the SOP naman is nanggaling naman yun dun sa ating ginawang research title. Kumbaga, from the research title itself until to the results discussion, even the conclusion and recommendation, there should be a parallelism. No? From the title hanggang sa pinakadulo ng research study natin, there should be a connectedness. No? Third slide, Ma'am Jace. Okay, so when we're making a results and discussion, these are the three things that we're going to consider. The first one, it should be clearly presented. Number two, organized. And number three is effective. So from the number one, who can explain? Why do you think so that our results and discussion should be clearly presented? Anyone have an idea? Why should our results and discussion should be clearly presented?
Ako, sir. All the evidence that we're going to present will of course be coming from our numerical data presented doon sa mga natabulate. So, meaning, kapag ka hindi malinaw yung mga na-present nating data, hindi gaano ka-valid yung evidences na ipe-present po natin sa panelists and sa mga readers natin.
Definitely. It was a good point that if our data is not clearly presented, or if our results in discussion is not clearly presented, there will be a questions with regards to the validity as well as the reliability of our study. The second one, why do you think so that our results in discussion should be organized? Anyone? Aside from Mr. Hockey, please. Pictures? It is a 50 pesos worth Gcash.
I think, pwede ba tayo mag-roll call? Okay lang po
yes,
kaya?
I think para medyo mabuhay naman yung
Sige,
iba,
let
no?
us have,
Para tutulog yan.
medyo matapang enthusiasm ni Ma'am eh. Ma'am Fabriag, pwede bang marinig yung inyong comment about this? Yan.
Mas okay siguro if we're going to have a oral interaction, no? Para mas
Yes,
collaboratively. You can see the more collaborative way of discussing this kind of topics.
Hello po, good evening.
Yeah.
Okay, try
Good
lang,
evening,
sir.
ma'am.
Okay, good evening po. For me, para kailangan ng organize to make the arrangement or preparation for an event or activity para mas coordinate. Tama po ba? Mas organized po.
Yon. No? Organized. Other way to interpret it is that it should be systematic. There's a process, there's a way, there's a guide na ginagamit natin for us to be able to come up with a better result or the best result, di ba? The third one, it should be effective. So when do we say that the given, or when do we say that the particular chapter of a research, or specifically the results in discussion, is effective? When do we say it is effective? Anyone please? Aside from Miss Pabriag, Mr. Hokyo.
Pag tama po yung result na ginawa ng isang student, tama po ba? Yung
Yes,
tama.
definitely.
Yun.
Yan.
Yes.
Ayan.
Yes,
Can we
one of
have
the two.
Ma'am Maria Elizabeth Maputol? Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, ma'am.
Ayun. Baka busy si ma'am. How about Ma'am Charlotte Barangan? Yan. Isa sa mga biyasa nating STEM research teachers. Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, Sir Hokyo.
Ayun. Sir Jerwin, pa-repeat po ng question.
Ayun, Ma'am Charlotte, the question is, when do we say that our results in discussion is effective? According to Ma'am Pabriag a while ago, it is effective if it is again what is it? It is effective if Ma'am Pabriag,
Pag tama po yung ginawa ng student dun sa
if tama yung ginawa ng ating mga researchers, right?
yes po.
Yes, definitely, Ma'am Ruth DeVera. Kapag na-meet natin yung SOP, or if our SOP is answered, definitely. No? Kasi the SOP is the foundation, and it was only supported by the data that we gathered. That is presented on our results and discussion. And also, one waiting for us to be able to determine if our results in discussion is effective is that if it is really tawag dito, easily understand by the readers. No? Okay? So, by the way, since we are talking about the results in discussion, this is a two-word. No? So when we say results, so these are the data that we have collected. Right? Yes, Ma'am Cha, you can share.
Okay po. So, in the result po, yung pinaka ginawa ng student, which is, di ba, nag-analyze po sila ng data. We need to present it. They need to present it. They need to present what they found para po yung kinandak nila na analysis is tama. Well explained, yun po. And effective yung magiging result ng kanilang research.
Precisely. No? So that's it. No. So back to the what I have said earlier. Results. When we say results, this is the data that we have collected, as well as the findings or the answers. So according to Ma'am Ruth a while ago, these are the answer, the findings, or the data that we collected based on our SOPs. No? Then the other term that we're going to have is the discussion word. So wherein when we say discussion, katulad ito, we're going to discuss. I am explaining the data. I am explaining the information. No? I am contextualizing the information, something like that. And also we're going to talk about the data or the findings that we gathered. Definitely, Ma'am Ruth, another way to explain it is to interpret the data. Okay? So shall we proceed? Do you have any questions or hesitations about the words that I have discussed? Teachers? None, sir. Okay, so next is how. The question is how to write a sorry. How to write a results and discussion. So first thing first is the commonly thing that we are usually do. we're going to place a title which is the results and discussion. Di ba? Nakalagay sa gitna, results and discussion. And that's it. No? So, next is after the results and discussion as our title, we're going to have a short introductions about this page. So, as you can see, the highlighted blue, nababasa po ba, teachers? Hello, teachers? Nababasa niyo po ba yung ating naka-highlight?
Yes po,
Yes
sir.
po, sir.
Ayan. So, Mr. Baldwin, can you please read what is highlighted for us to emphasize what is an example or an example of a short introductions of a results and discussion?
Okay, this section presents the analysis and the interpretation of the study on the research problem. Following the qualitative methodology, the content of this chapter are the responses of the respondent gathered through survey method. Through interviews, respondents were able to unconsciously cover the set of questions.
Yun. Thank you for that. um, informative reading, Mr. Arnold, no? So, yeah, that's an example of short introduction, no? So, why do we use short introduction? So, first is, this is the introduction for the particular part. That is the short introduction. And also, it introduced to the readers what to expect from the preceding pages. No? Kumbaga, if they're going to read furthermore, they already have some insights or some knowledge about what is the content of that particular part. No? Next is it explain how did we collect these findings. So as you can see, nakalagay dyan following the quantitative methodology as well as they gathered through a survey method. Diba? So yung survey method, so it was already rampant. Napaka-dominant niya for all researchers that we are using a research instrument which is the survey questions. Sorry. No? Yun. So, but, yun nga, katulad nung nangyari sa atin ngayon, Practical Research 2, the Arellano University, aside that we are following the IMRED format, is that we are obliged to differentiate the atake ng ating research with different stands. For example, is that the STEM students, they are more on in experimental research. Therefore, the research instrument that they're going to use is expectedly to be the lab results, the experiments that they're going to use. No? Kumbaga, the STEM students, lalo-lalo if it is a quantitative research, they are more on experiments rather than with the survey questions. No? So, yun. Any more questions with regards to this? The short introduction? Teachers? Is it clearly defined naman po ba? Hello? Are you still there?
Opo, sir.
Ayun.
Yes po, sir.
Next thing that we're going to do is to transform the SOP into a phrase. Sorry talaga. So we're going to transform the SOP into a phrase or sentence to make it as a subtitle. So if you're going to notice or to observe the research study of the students as well as for sure, we have our research study naman during our college time, di ba? So pagdating sa SOP, we usually use a interrogative format of a SOP. Kumbaga, pa-question siya. So we, tag doon, hindi natin usually ginagamit yung declarative format of making an SOP. But it is possible. No? So, doon tayo sa common. So, this time, transform SOP to a phrase or sentence to make it a subtitle. So, for example, the SOP na nandyan is what are the challenges encountered by senior high school students in modular learning. So, if we're going to transform it into a phrase or sentence, it can be challenges encountered by senior high school students in modular learning. Nakuha po ba kung paano natin na-transform, teachers? Ayun.
Yes po, sir.
So, this time, I'm going to show you kung paano naman natin siya in-input into as a subtitle. Yan, subtitle. The highlighted one, it is already a subtitle. From SOP, we turn it into a phrase or sentence. Then afterwards, we can use it as our subtitle. Follow? Are you still with me, teachers?
Yes po.
Ayun. Sige. Next. Is after getting the phrase format or sentence format of an SOP and make it as a subtitle, ang gagawin naman natin is we're going to have again a short discussion about dun sa ating ginawang phrase or kinonvert na phrase. So as you can see, the highlighted one, that is an example of a short discussion about the turned SOP, no? So no one are prepared for the sudden shift in the landscape of education. So something ganon. Most commonly seems like when we're making introductions, di ba? May iba pa ba yun? Magkakaroon pa ba ng iba explanation when we are talking about introduction? So, mababago lang siguro yon, depende kung ano yung gagawa natin ng introduction. No? Next is, bakit nga ba kinakailangan meron tayong short discussion? It is to make sure that the reader is ready and understand the problem that should to be answered with the data gathered and the findings. So, yun yung ating pinaka-objective why we need to have a short discussion of our turned SOP. Next part of this is we're going to make a table. So, yan na si table. So, when we say this in this part, so nagbigay ako ng example dito, but we can also provide other interpretation, other tawag dito, modeling of our results, no? Aside from the tables, we can use graphs. At sa graphs natin, ang dami nating pwede gamitin graphs as long as it is appropriate to what we are going to present, no? So, meron tayong bar graph, we have the line graph, we have the pie graph, no? And so many graphs. So, it really, it is on our discretion, lalo na as a research advisor, kung ano yung pwede nating advise sa students to make their results presented very well. No? Kasi hindi naman tayo pwedeng basta-basta na lang gagamit na, ito yung gusto ko, I'm going to use pie graph. Pero ang i-interpret mo is the rising and the falling of the SLP. No? So may mga axis dyan. Diba? So hindi siya ganun ka-accurate to use a pie graph for that particular data. No? So, yun. Appropriateness pa rin talaga. So, we need to discuss and make our readers to fully understand in making sure of the finding. So, it do not explain the whole table ha. Hindi yung porket gumawa tayo ng table, explain na natin lahat. Ano ba yung explain lang natin? Only the main points. No? Let's say katulad nung nakuha kanina kay Ma'am Ruth, if I'm not mistaken, nagkaroon ng for that particular survey question, nakakuha ng 4.8, nakakuha ng 4.9, nakakuha ng 4.10. So what if ang i-discuss lang natin is yung main? For example, is the highest. This question has the highest average or has the highest mean. And the lowest mean is 3.7. Something ganon. Now, we don't need to discuss all of the informations inside the table, but only the highlights or the main points.
Sir Jerwin, can I add something po about that?
Yes po. You can.
So, based on the discussion po sa amin last time, when we are going to have the discussion dun sa Likert scale, technically po talaga, lahat yon sinosolve natin. But, kapag nag-interpret na po tayo ng data, doon na lang po tayo titingin sa highest and then sa lowest. Yung sinabi nga po ni Sir Jerwin. So, yun lang po yung pinaka-i-interpret natin, the highest and then the lowest number dun sa data po natin. Yun lang po.
Ayun. No? And aside from that, aside from the table, our table should be also supported with our findings or our related literature. No? So kailangan our related literatures there's something to do with our results and discussions pa rin, no? Kasi bakit ba tayo kumukuha ng review literature? It is that there's a previous study nagawa nating guide to have this kind of our study, pero ang kaibahan nga lang nung atin is we integrated new knowledge, new information siguro. Kasi 'di ba, as the time goes by, hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na the idea of the 1970s is same with the idea ngayong 21st century na. No? Nababago. There's a modernization, there's a development, and there is a drastic change. No? Yun, thank you, Ma'am Ruth. No? Sa pag-explain ng what are the data that should only presented or interpreted in our results and discussion. So we have limit. We have also limitations with regards to this kind of part. No? So some points, pag sinabi nating research kasi, laging nasa idea natin is kailangan at the end of the study, we should come up with the successful study. Pero let's forget about that, no? Para mas valid, mas reliable yung study natin. So, yun. So why does napasama dito yung ating review literature? It is that we can also present it on our, in this part of our results and discussion. So if our findings, yung ating results, contradicts dun sa ating studies na nasa RRL, so we can say, pwede natin sabihin na in contradict with the study of ganyan. No? And on the other hand naman, if our results or findings is really connected or tawag dito, or halos same with the previous study na ginamit natin, pwede nating sabihin doon na it agrees. Yun, it agrees, no? So, yun. It's our discretion. It is our, tawag dito, as a researchers, we need to be reliable and valid to whatever findings na nakuha natin or nag-gathered natin. No? So next is, yan. So as you can see, there is an inverted pyramid. So this is only, again, one of the example na naman on how we're going to, on how we're going to make our study. So inverted. What do you think inverted means? Anyone, please.
Baliktad, sir. Meaning to say, ano siya,
Baliktad
from
po,
general
sir.
topic down to the specific one.
Definitely. No, precisely. That is the meaning of it. No, no other, No other explanation about inverted. From general to specific. No? As you can see, dun sa ating discuss kanina, and then also the examples, nag-start tayo. Nag-start tayo with the general overview of the SOP, of the particular SOP. Then after nun, we gathered the data, results, and findings. Yung mga numbers na doon. That is what we call the data and results. Then after nun, we have the specific references to support your findings. No? So yung sinasabi natin specific references dito is yung ating related literature. Okay po? So, yung iba naman, kung yung gusto niyo maging atake naman sa research niyo is the opposite one, pwede tayo yung ating parang inductive approach. No? From specific to general. Or from the specific ideas to the main concept. Something to do with that. No? So, yun. It is also our discretion kung ano yung gagawin nating atake doon sa study natin. Basta make sure that at the end of the day, our research study is reliable, valid, and effective. So, any more question po, teachers? About this? Hello po? So, bakit nga ba tayo gumagamit ng mga ganong approaches? It is that to make sure that there is a coherence and seamless discussion of the results. As well as it should be applied, the pattern, I am speaking with the pattern should be applied all throughout. No? Kung baga parang sinabi ko kanina, yun, hindi lang tayo magbe-base on that particular chapter na from the first discussion itself hanggang sa pinakadulo it should be parallel. But also, it also applies to the from the title itself of our study hanggang sa pinaka-last, the discussion and conclusion, recommendation, it should be also parallel. No? So, yan. So, this particular page, ito naman yung nagpapakita anong end. How we're going to end our results and discussion of the given SOP. No? So, there is a gathered conclusion. There's also a close particular page. No? And also, it answers what are the implications of the research or the results of your research to the general understanding of the topic or of the study. No? So yan, from the above discussion, it implies that modular learning gave students the opportunity to continue with their educations amidst the prevailing world health crisis brought forth by the pandemic. However, formal education in the time of pandemic prompted schools and learners problems that needs immediate solutions. So then we're going to write the general conclusion to each SOP. So that is how our results in discussion should flow. Is there any more questions, teachers? Any more dito? May question po ba?
Ayan. Meron po ba tayong clarification para po sa ating mga participants for today's event? Ayan.
So yun,
Okay,
for those who answered a while ago.
Wala na po sigurong question, no? I'd like to share something to you as a reminder of the importance of this particular part. Nakikita na po ba yung screen? Or hindi pa?
Nakikita po.
Yan, nakikita niyo na po yung screen ko? Ano po yung sabi? Ano po yung sabi?
The root.
Yan. Yan. Pakibasa po. Anyone? The root of a research problem is the problem of the research root. Yan. Ano po kaya ibig sabihin nito bago tayo mag-end? Dito tayo mag-summarize. Yan. Anyone? Yan, sa mga language teachers po natin, kagaya ko, na mahilig mag-interpret ng literature. Yan, gumawa po tayo ng isang talasalitaan. Yan. The root of a research problem is the problem of the research truth. May I call on yan, let's try Ma'am Elizabeth. Ay, si Ma'am Gontinias yan. Ma'am Mary May, hello. Ayun, busy yata si Ma'am. Okay, so to sum it up, ang gusto lang po sabihin nito, the results in discussion is the root, no, of the wholeness of the research itself. Ito po yung kabuuang kaayusan. Kapag ka maayos ang ating results in discussion, pag maayos ang ating tabulation or interpretation of data, yung pagkakakompute mismo ng ating data sa research, magiging maayos din the rest of the evidences that you're going to present on your research. But on the counterpart, kapag ka hindi naman natin ito mabusisi na nagawa, ay magkakaroon po tayo ng problema sa majority ng part of research. Because as they would say, SOP is the statement of the problem is the backbone, while the results and discussion is the heart of the research. So, magkakakonekta po ito at pare-pareho po sila ng importansya, and we cannot separate the importance of these parts, which of course collaboratively contribute to one another. So, I hope marami po natutunan ng ating mga participant for tonight. Kung meron pa po tayong mga tanong, pwede po tayo mag-follow up sa GC. Pwede nyo po kaming i-sendan ng mga message para po ma-feel po namin, no, ang ating mga isipan, no, pagdating sa usapin na pangpananaliksik. Yan. Marami po salamat again sa mga nakilahok o sa mga sumali sa amin ngayong gabi sa ating maikling programa para mapagyaman natin yung mga impormasyon na dati na po nating nalaman. Yan. Muli, marami pong salamat, and we would like to thank our dear principal, no, Mr. Dean Joseph Birenya, and of course our OIC, Ma'am Lydia Titirado, our guest speakers, Mr. Jerwin Sena, as well as Ma'am Ruth DeVera, who are experts in the field of research as well as mathematics. So, thank you so much. And of course, hindi po ito magiging posible without the help of our dearest participants. Marami pong salamat. I hope marami po tayong nakuha. Good night, everyone. Let's call it a day. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you, sir.
Salamat po.
Thank you po.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hokyo, and thank you, Mr. Sena, and Ms. Ruth and Ms. DeVera, and all the participants. They keep safe and healthy always.
Salamat po. Ang pinaabot po ng ating principal, Mr. Dean Joseph Birenya, that he is proud of you. Sa lahat po na nakilahok hanggang sa mga nagsalita, he is very proud of us, and he's thanking us together with Ma'am Lydia Titirado for the success of this IMP. Marami pong salamat muli sa pagdalo, and good night. God bless po sa atin. More power. Peace out.